Net tonight, Kristen Campbell with her fourth straight playoff start. She allowed 2 goals on 26 shots in Game 3. Shut out Minnesota in Toronto's first 2 playoff wins. Campbell has now backstopped all 7 games against Minnesota this season. A different story, though, for Maddie Rooney, who is now the first goaltender to get a 3rd straight start for Minnesota. Rooney only allowed 1 goal on 47 shots through 2 games, including an 18-save shutout Monday to extend this series.
Maddie Rooney has been so good for this team, and funny enough, Coach Kennedy told us she doesn't get rattled. Her car broke down on the way to the rink on Monday night, no problem. She called her goalie partner, Nicole Hensley, for a ride. She calls her dad to come rescue her car off the side of the road. Away she goes, and she puts up a shutout.
Game 4 underway inside the XL Energy Center. Just like Monday night, Toronto just 1 win away, but finding themselves in their own zone early on here. And it was Minnesota who came out so strong in the first period Monday night. Toronto only got 2 shots on goal in the first period. Game 3, it's their lowest first period shots in this inaugural season.
And it was a rough start for Toronto in that game and kind of carried through most of the game, so they're looking for a different start here tonight.
Lee Steckline with 1 point already, 1 assist rather, in this series. She gets pressured off the puck. Allie Monroe digging it out. Looking to take it away was Blair Turnbull. Now Brittany Howard. That pass back on the stick of Minnesota.
And just those clean exits that they're looking for again. Something that was difficult for Toronto on Monday is getting out of the zone clean. Of course, Minnesota's forecheck was a big factor in that. They came hard.
In games 2 and 3, it was a scoreless first period. These 2 teams through the regular season had not allowed a single scoreless period. Of course, we've got so much on the line right now. Toronto captain Blair Turnbull sends it out to Rebecca Leslie. She's been moved up in this game because of the injury to Natalie Spooner.
A little familiarity with both playing with Hannah Miller. She played with her earlier in the season, and Blair Turnbull. And Blair Turnbull, she played with Calgary back in the PWHL. Won a Clarkson Cup together.
And Miller's centering feed finds Leslie, but it's taken back by Minnesota. Lorianne Rougeau now handling it. Neither team with a shot on goal, approaching 2 minutes into the opening frame.
Toronto still looking a little disconnected on those breakouts, make 1 or 2 passes, and then still can't complete the 3rd one to get out and clean entries.
Now, Maggie Flaherty trying to hold it in on the line. Her stick goes flying. No, it's a Toronto stick that goes flying. There's a shot right in the glove of Maddie Rooney, and it was Jessie Comfer.
Jessie Comfer with the first shot of the game. She gets entry into the zone, gets to the middle of the ice, throws this one on net. It's a bobble puck at the blue line. Toronto takes advantage, comes through the neutral zone with a little bit of speed, and then walks into the middle. Snaps that one off. That's an easy save for Rooney, but good for Toronto to get that first puck on net. See if you can create a little bit of offense. Again, that was a struggle last game.
Jessie Comfer's first goal of the playoffs just so happened to be a 3rd period game-winning goal, game 2. First goal of the regular season only goal, also a 3rd period game winner as well. Now Grace Zumwinkle, Rookie of the Year nominee, coming up on Emma Molte. Both of those players actually Rookie of the Year nominees. And now a chance. Minnesota looking to set up, and that's taken away. Quick work there by Molte and Howard, but kept in. Taylor Heisey now looking for a lane. She takes a shot, blocked in front. Brittany Howard, cross ice, finds Emma Molte once again. She lays a hit out to Sarah Nurse.
That's one of the things you'll see from Molte. She's a physical player. She's not very big, but she can pack a punch on a hit.
Jumping on it, Sophia Cunnin. And with a quick slide, LaRock sends the puck back and around. Still in the Toronto end, Minnesota. Steckline off the bodies. What a deflection, and almost a redirect there, whether on purpose or accidentally. Steckline gets it back again for Minnesota. Always a calm, cool, collected presence on the ice for this team.
Well, that was great patience just to allow her team to clear before she put that puck back into the zone.
She does it once again, holds it in, and then allows this to develop. LaRock on the chase, far corner. And in the neutral zone, it's picked up right from the bench, and Steckline carries it over once again. She'll look back. Bounced off the bodies in front. Michaela Cava centering feed. Greco can't get the long shot now. Hannah Miller tries to jump on that possible turnover, opts for the dump.
That dump in is a smart play. She knows she's got no reinforcements. They need off the ice. Once that puck had bobbled, she no longer had any attack off the rush. Get it in, get a change, and have fresh legs.
Both teams with a single shot on goal so far. No whistles yet here in the first period. Turnbull rims it around Allie Monroe. Finds Samantha Kogan, who's also now on a line. 13th forward for Toronto through games 1 through 3.
Well, it was game 2 that she had an excellent game. Very noticeable at times and got bigger minutes because of it.
Allie Monroe putting on some speed and drawing some attention her way. Maggie Connors with a hit. Frees the puck. Willoughby now handling it off the far wall. Sends it down to Jessie Comfer and around. Toronto with some time now in the offensive zone, just trying to get to the puck, but Minnesota good on the clear, not quite. Held in there by Lorianne Rougeau. She's bumped off by Kruzova. Maggie Connors taking control along the goal line. Shakes off some pressure. This is from Melissa Channel. Minnesota good to get out of the zone. Chases on Claire Buderak. She goes at the far wall. Rougeau gets a touch.
Willoughby with a strong back check, coming back through, making sure that that play stays along the wall.
And as he said, ahead of game 3, it is just about winning one game. It's the mindset in the series. Here comes Taylor Heisey. What a move. But she's kept at bay. Toronto now taking it the other way. Abby Boreen sends it back for Minnesota.
One of the strengths for Toronto is getting pucks in deep and getting on the forecheck. And you get that red line like that, I think you're outnumbered. You want to get that puck in.
Hogan to Bach. It just bounces off her stick. And we're back at it. Plenty of open ice, and Renata Fast will collect it back for Toronto. That one bumps off the skate there of Vasco, and here a chance right in the slot. Cunnin high. Not as intended, and Toronto able to breathe a sigh of relief there.
I'll chip that one out, but just once again, just a little disjointed. Pass is not on the tape. Very similar to last game in terms of the perimeter play for both teams right now.
Over 7 minutes into the first period, and still no whistle. Sarah Nurse cuts back behind the net, gets a sharp angle shot off Rooney, but easy read there in Minnesota now. Looking to clear the zone, work it over. Claire DeGeorge loses the puck, gets it back. Michaela Cava looking to get a stick on it, but Minnesota going for a change. Sarah Nurse collects it near side.
And both teams looking to get a change in right now, and Minnesota goes for that change. It looked like maybe Toronto was going to turn it up ice and create something, but they're a little slow to do it.
Michaela Cava with a long pass. That gets intercepted. Emma Malte now shaking off Kelly Panic. Down to Turnbull. She gets hit by Flaherty. Toronto loves to play physical, but Minnesota certainly stepping up as well.
Well, we've seen a very physical series. Right now, I think the story of the game right now is the turnovers, both sides. If one team figures out how to clean things up, I would think that they're going to start to have an edge.
Kendall Coyne-Schofield now collects it. She's still looking to get a point in the playoffs. Here's Blair Turnbull. She feeds it up. Started the series strong with a 2-goal performance in game 1. And few whistles, but here we are. Scoreless tie. First period, Toronto, Minnesota, game 4. Earlier today, a heartfelt message from Natalie Spooner of Toronto, of course, injured in game 3. Just thanking everyone for their messages of love and support. And while she won't be hitting the ice for the rest of the season, she is going to be her team's biggest supporter and will be there with them the rest of the way.
Well, of course, we talked to Troy Ryan about the injury, and he said, you know, I wasn't upset that there was no call in the play. I didn't think it was a penalty. I was asking the referee for a little bit of time to try to clear Natalie from the bench. She was obviously in some distress, and so they wanted to take care of that situation first.
The game 3 shutout loss to Minnesota snapped a 6-game win streak. It also ended a 7-game slide for Minnesota, and what a time to get confident right now. The home team looking to get another win, and right in front, Shepard's shot just turned aside. As Shepard's leading Minnesota in points in the postseason, 2 assists on Monday. Turnbull takes it away, looking to find Miller, but Minnesota's so effective at pressing everyone to the outside.
Well, they've been fantastic defensively, and so really the struggle for both teams throughout the series has been finding the middle of the ice. Minnesota started to do it much better last game. Toronto struggled throughout the course of that game. Of course, they did get a couple grade A scoring chances that Rooney came up really big on.
Still with 1 shot on goal each in the approach the midway point. The first period, that one was high and off the glass. Connors sends it back. To connect a hard hit for Jesse Comfer. Kelly Panic gets it out of the way for Minnesota. Chipping it off the wall, but into center ice. Olivia Knowles will collect it. She spent a lot of time in Minnesota. Another chance, just looking to get their players out on the ice.
Just patient on the regroup. The only problem, of course, with that is it allows Toronto to set up in the neutral zone, get into those pass lanes.
Sophia Cunnan has the centering feed and then trying to connect. Bit of a scramble right in front, but a chance to get a shot off. And it's kept away by Emma Malte. She has space out on the ice. Just has to get by one. Cuts around, wrap-around attempt. It just goes wide. But a good look for Emma Malte, driving the action all the way into the Minnesota zone. Flanagan one-timer. That one just high. Toronto still on the attack, battling to get into the middle of the ice. Emma Malte. Push to the outside, Flanagan. Back up to Bach, and he's looking to take it to Turnbull. Sophie Jakes sends it across.
Well, Emma Malte, who had that wraparound chance, and you know she's going to bring some speed. Of course, there's another attack where everybody went for a line change, and you need the change, you want to take it, but there's...
Oh, here's a big chance. What a one-timer by Zumwinkle, misses by inches, nearly trickles in. What an opportunity by Minnesota, going for it again this time. Traffic in front, good to clear, Toronto is. Grace Zumwinkle did everything her coach wanted her to do, was to take those beautiful shots when she could get them. Zumwinkle gets it back, finds Heisey. Minnesota crowd happy with what they're seeing.
Well, this is what you want if you're Minnesota, is to start to bring the crowd into it. It had been a quiet crowd for the first 10 minutes.
Taylor Heisey looking to shake off that pressure from Toronto. Takes it all the way around. Fast gets her stick on it. Zumwinkle to collect far side. Fast again. Pressure gets the puck free. Flanagan finds Miller. Minnesota takes it back. And now Toronto goes for the change. Jesse Comfort takes it back. Grace Zumwinkle with a great slap shot. Chance right in front of Kristen Campbell before the break. Minnesota had 11 shots on goal in the first period of Game 3, the game that they won. Right now just 3. There's a shot on Rooney, and that's in the glove.
Well, that might be one thing you need, especially in the absence of Natalie Spooner, as some secondary scoring to get your third line going.
Sarah Nurse as well will be looked to. She finished with 11 goals in the regular season. And that was good for second best in the league. Of course, Natalie Spooner putting together 20 goals in the regular season.
Well, it was an impressive regular season. Of course, she got the first goal in this series as well on a beautiful shot. So a team that's going to have to find a way in her absence, and it won't be easy, but...
A game-winning goal number 6 for Natalie Spooner on this incredible inaugural run. Nurse sends it back down.
Of course, Minnesota sitting at just 3 shots as well. So this has been a period, it's been very tentative. A lot of turnovers, a lot of perimeter play.
And certainly rivaling one of the lowest shooting first periods. Rebecca Leslie comes through, takes the shot, goes around fast, gets to it. Turnbull not quite to Rebecca Leslie, but that pass from Bookbinder off the wall nearly gets back out in front of the crease. Hannah Miller, the stick on it for Toronto. Miller is Toronto's playoff points leader. She has 3 assists. Now LaRock looking up ice, trying to settle things down. Britton Fleming in purple. LaRock goes for the stretch feed. Maggie Connors gets it back off the stick of Lee Steckline. Now Connors trying to find some space, but Steckline smothers that effort. Caitlin Willoughby off the wall, long shot. Allie Monroe blocked in front, big bounce there. It was Willoughby that got the shot, sharp angle. Another chance, Monroe. That one just wide. Callie Flanagan, she puts it on the net. That one catches bodies in front, and away they go. Abby Boreen feeds it to the other side, saved by Campbell. Taylor Heisey got a stick on it by the blue line, cutting in front. Grace Zumwinkle shoots, and it's right in front. What a scramble. Big saves by Campbell to get it out. Heisey collects it again. Chance to regroup. Connors flips it out.
Grace Zumwinkle with a couple of good chances, but you allow her to walk that seam and you know she's got a dangerous shot.
Now Abby Boreen, no look pass, finds the near corner. Rougeau, some defense for Toronto down low. Giving chase Grisova, she had a goal last game. And Melissa Channel was looking to feed it back up. Final 4 minutes here in the opening frame. Shots on goal 5-2 for Minnesota. Still looking for the first goal of game 4. Minnesota wins and this series extends. It is a best of 5. And they're trailing in the series 2-1. Brittany Howard, it's offside. Now Renata Fast trying to work and loses the puck. Minnesota nearly pounces Kelly Panic. She gets the puck stripped from her. And as Becky has said, plenty of turnovers here in the first period. Still scoreless, approaching the final 3 minutes. Minnesota looking to change that. Only game 1, was there a goal in the first period. Chance from the point, that one wide. Finds Panic, she puts it on the net. A good angle by Kelly Panic. Hannah Miller forced to the outside. No room to move for number 34. Toronto goes to collect, and Willoughby nearly loses the puck. Flanagan up. Chance from DeGeorge. She just takes it away. Monroe gets it back out to the center, but Minnesota regains control, and here we are. Another turnover, back to back to back.
Well, and if you're Minnesota right now, you need to capitalize on one of those turnovers when a team is playing like that, giving you those gifts. You want to take those to the net and get your chances.
Now Claire DeGeorge putting on some speed. Defender goes for the shot. That one gets taken away. Lauriane Rougeau finding Olivia Knowles. It's been tough to get a handle on the puck tonight. Both teams having some difficulties.
Well, there's definitely been turnovers both sides.
And now Toronto, what a block. Taking it away, coming in fast. Taylor Heisey to Abby Boreen, back to the middle. Push to perimeter. Right up shot, Melissa Channel. There was Minnesota's defense that got them on the board in game 2. Maggie Flaherty with the opening goal, game winner. First ever playoff goal for Minnesota.
Well, you got to think that's the way right now, the way both teams are playing in the offense, that you're going to start throwing pucks on goal, try to create some traffic. One of the things that Minnesota did really good on that first goal is they got players to the net.
Boreen over to Bookbinder, bobbled on the blue line. Sheppers fires it back down deep into the Toronto zone. We're in the final minute of the first period. Shots on goal very low, 5-2 for the home team. And if it stays this way, Toronto will have just had 2 shots, but there's a chance. No, blocked once again. Hannah Miller can't get the shot off. The game 3, last game on Monday, also just a 2-shot period. in the opening frame for Toronto. Neutral zone draw. Approaching the final 20 seconds rather. In the Minnesota zone, Channel feeds the puck out. Unlikely what would have been their last effort here in the period. Although faceoff is on the way. Toronto has led faceoffs in every single game. Game 3, 60% at the dot.
They've been very good in the dot. They've got all of their centers right now operating at over 50%. So that's an advantage. Certainly you want to be able to take advantage of. Of course, Toronto right now, not too many faceoffs in the offensive zone.
Toronto manages to get one more shot on Maddie Rooney to make it 3-5. Minnesota leading that tally, but still scoreless in the first period. Make that 3 straight scoreless opening frames in this playoff series.
Welcome back to the XL Energy Center. Scoreless through the first 20 minutes of play. And Maggie, for the second time, your team's been able to pull Toronto's very limited scoring chances in the first period. Talk to me about the play in the own end.
Yeah, we've been talking about just getting on them right away, getting shots off, and getting towards the middle more and being physical with them. So I feel like we've been doing that, and that's been making them just off the puck.
That being said, not a lot of scoring chances for either team. Kind of a tentative period, a little bit sloppy at times. What changes can we expect in the second?
Yeah, we definitely be crisper on the passes, clean up the neutral zone a little bit, and just make those short, quick passes, and then we'll be out of our zone quickly.
It seems as though it's been a completely different team since you got this team off the shutout streak there against Toronto. Have you seen the confidence level rise with this team since that moment?
Yeah, definitely. Confidence is higher knowing that we can put the puck in the net against these teams. Yeah, and our energy has been much higher, so that's good too.
Thanks so much. Good luck.
Yeah, thank you.
Welcome back. Our Rob Pizzo standing by with Toronto head coach Troy Ryan.
Scoring chances. What was the message to the team in the room?
Most of them just to relax. They seemed really nervous and hesitant. They were rushing their decisions, and instead of just breathing a little bit and making plays they've been making all year.
Obviously a big hole up front with the Natalie Spooner injury. How do you think your team has responded, not only on the ice but in the room as well?
I think in the room they're fine. Natalie's with us and supporting us to the best of her ability with the injury. I think this group's going to be fine.
Thanks a lot. Good luck in the second.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rob and Troy. We are all set for the second period, still chasing a first goal in Game 4. And this could be it for Minnesota if they don't get a win tonight. They're hungry for it, looking to even this series right now, trailing 2-1 Toronto. With a missed pass early on here in the second. Of course, they're looking to bounce back. Sleepy start, 3 shots on goal, but just 5 as well for Minnesota. Boreen and Miller battling. Minnesota gets it out, goes all the way down for an icing.
Well, it's Renata Fast who moves this puck up and out of the zone, and then Sarah Nurse who gets in on the forecheck on the goaltender, and that's exactly what Toronto needs, is to start to put some pressure on. Sarah Nurse comes in and she's moving her feet. She comes in a hurry, catches Rooney by surprise and creates that turnover. And so for Toronto, that's the forecheck they need.
And a chance after winning that face-off. They had the slight edge in the first period, 6-4. Comes to face-off win, Samantha Kogan. Trying to find a lane, find space, down to Comfer. It goes by, Callie Flanagan collects it. Forced to rim it back. Gives Melissa Channel some space along with Sophie Jakes. Abby Boreen hit off the puck. Sent back around. Allie Monroe now. Working below the goal line. Trying to fight for space, Jessie Comfer. That's a quick shot, just skims by. Good chance there for Toronto. Set up on the doorstep. And the crowd chanting Rooney once more. This is the 3rd straight start for Maddie Rooney, and through the regular season, Minnesota had never had one of their goaltenders go back to back to back.
Well, Toronto with a little bit better start to this period, and they start to throw a heavier forecheck, getting pucks deep into the zone. Sam Cogan, who a little extra attention after that hit. Toronto then generating a scoring chance in front. It's Comfer again. She was net front on the late goal winner, game 2, and so this is what Toronto's looking for. This is their strength.
Wayne Schofield, that one stopped short, right in the palm there. Toronto looking to generate some momentum. Howard out to Vasco. She gets a stick on it. Minnesota adding some speed, but rubbed off the boards. Howard on panic, Lee Steckline. She'll settle it back, not quite. Hannah Miller jumping to it along with Claire Turnbull back below, behind the net of Rooney. Malte out to LaRock, quick cycles, long shot in the glove. Maddie Rooney.
Well, once again, a much better sequence from Toronto, and it starts with the forecheck. Again, this time it's Hannah Miller that gets in and puts pressure on the puck, creates the turnover, and then they're able to get a little bit of zone time. Move the puck, handle it, nice little pass up top. LaRock over to Fast. Fast gets her head up, finds that lane. Unfortunately, no one in front. So there's the end of the sequence that they need, is to get a net front presence.
Minnesota battling again in their own end to clear it out. Hannah Miller feeds it down Malte. Sarah Nurse collects it, brings it in close. Oh, that one nearly bouncing off some skates. LaRock right in front, Miller. What a chance. Sarah Nurse keeps the puck. Now Miller takes it again. Looking to shoot in the slot. Another chance. It's soft right in front. Still alive. Battling Malte on the doorstep.
Well, Maddie Rooney has to come up big twice, and that second save, that one's just bouncing around. She's got to get a glove on it, but it's the first save, point blank in the slot, where she comes up big for her team. She did it a couple times last game to keep it at even. Toronto again with some good pressure, some good zone time. It's Miller that gets that one right in the slot, gives a little one time. She doesn't get a lot on it, but Rooney's able to come across with that pad.
Monroe, she fires it. Had the best face-off percentage last game, 67.9%. Turnbull battling for it, pushing Maggie Flaherty off the puck. This is the kind of play we expect from Toronto. To drive the action net front, but still forced once more to the far wall. Turnbull chips it back. Monroe trying to drive it. Quick work by Willoughby, sticks flying. Minnesota clears it. We have a penalty on the way, the very first of this game coming here in the second period.
Well, this is a penalty that's going to go to Toronto, and just when they were starting to generate a lot of momentum, put some shots up on goal, and really put Minnesota under pressure.
Toronto, minor penalty,
they're going to take a
tripping.
penalty.
Tripping call. There were a couple of those in game 3.
On this one will be Monroe. She comes in to try to keep that puck in the offensive zone, try to create an offense, and she gets her stick just into the skates. She takes down Brennan, so she will sit for 2 or less.
Neither team has been able to score on the power play. They're a combined 0 for 16. This is a Royale Tiger Towel power play. Power through tough messes.
Of course, the bulk of the scoring chances have come shorthanded, and Toronto, who has generated all sorts over the course of this series, won again in the game on Monday night.
Sophie Jakes looking for Zumwinkle. Still looking for her first playoff goal, and what a time to get it. A must-win game for Minnesota if they want to keep their playoff hopes alive. Back out, panic. Minnesota forced to just settle back in their own end here. Toronto head coach Troy Ryan knowing full well his team has had more chances shorthanded than they have on the player advantage when it comes to good quality moments. Here comes Sarah Nurse. She protects the puck, keeps Jakes away, steers clear, collision, and that will draw a penalty. We're gonna see some 4-on-4 time.
Well, and that's one of the things Sarah Nurse has done well as well. She's the one that's got most of those shorthanded scoring chances, but twice now in this series she has also drawn a penalty while they were shorthanded. And so that's a great job by Sarah Nurse to keeping this out. They'll play a little bit of 4-on-4. She's just trying to protect that puck. Krzyzova gives her a bump, knocks her off balance. So Denise Krzyzova will go to the penalty box and they'll play 4-on-4.
A trip for a trip, and 2 in the penalty box. Denise Krzyzova for Minnesota. So plenty of room on the ice here inside XL Energy Center. Both teams looking for their first goal Chance to open up scoring here. Last 2 games have been 2-0 wins. First to Toronto, then to Minnesota. Heisey from the point. That gets blocked, turned over. Toronto driving some action. Turnbull with a shot, flashing the leather. Rooney.
Well, and that's a good shot, and that's a shot that I like. She could keep it away from the glove. She had Callie Flanagan driving the net. Just keeping that puck just a little bit lower. If you can get that puck off the pad. Turnbull comes in, she gets to the middle of the ice. She's able to get that shot off despite the back check. And Rooney once again with the glove save.
A back check by Lee Steckline, of course. She's not just gonna let that shot go. Well, Turnbull got her stick in on the draw. Minnesota with possession. They can carry it out of their own end. Time winding down here on this 4-on-4. Toronto with 30 seconds left on that. Now Heisey, she cuts through, takes a shot, it's just wide. What beautiful moves by Taylor Heisey. And one of the best when it comes to driving through the middle. Another chance for Minnesota. What a shot, turned aside by Campbell. Minnesota now with confidence. The loose puck goes far into the neutral zone.
Taylor Heisey is one of those players that you absolutely know can make you look silly on a one-on-one, and what moves.
Now it's a 5-on-4 for Toronto. And Jocelyn Larocque. They look to play this. Flanagan to Malte. Malte getting pressed to the boards and or feeling pressure rather, in Minnesota able to clear it. Both teams absolutely excellent on the penalty kill through this series, and that's something to say as Minnesota finished with the worst penalty kill in the league through the regular season. Melissa Channel feeds it. Now Lauriane Rougeau takes it away, drives close towards the net, keeps it, looking for some space, shakes off Channel. Malte and Nurse far side feeds it back, looking for Malte, and those are good penalty kills for both sides. The crowd reacting to that effort by Minnesota.
Of course, 2 ways to look at that as well, as both of these teams need to get the power plays going, and penalty kills have been good, but got to figure a way to solve them.
Here comes Brittany Howard, even strength, and it's a good save by Rooney.
Brittany Howard with a nice chance, but it's Taylor Heisey with an absolute beauty. Toe drag. There's a player, you got to take the body. It's going to make you look silly. What an opportunity. Does Taylor Heisey have some skill? We'll take you back to January 10th so you can see for yourself. 2 goals against Toronto. Both of them highlight reel, just absolute beauties. There's number 1 cutting in on her strong side. Coming in the other side. This is just a beauty upstairs over the glove. Absolute skill from Taylor Heisey.
So much excitement inside the XL Energy Center that day. Larocque from the point. This is Rooney far from the net, but I want to jump on the doorstep. Still a low shooting affair, although block shots both sides. Now Fast gets to it. Behind the goal line, Heisey to Zumwinkle, back out again. These two looking create some magic for the first time in the playoffs. They've yet to crack the scoreboard themselves. Maggie Flaherty takes space, bumps Comfer off the puck.
You can see right now that Toronto's crossing that red line, and they've got a plan of attack in mind, which is to get it in. They're moving their feet on the forecheck.
Comfer wins that race. From the point, Rougeau. Kogan giving chase. Far side. Plenty of perimeter play in this game. Just kept to the outside, trying to find that middle. Taylor Heisey takes a spill. Now Claire Buderak in her skates, and we'll have a penalty on the way. Wasn't sure if that would be called, but yes, an interference call will send Minnesota back on the power play.
Well, Minnesota getting another opportunity, and right now, you know, with the way these power plays are going, which is to say that they're not going, there's not really a penalty for taking a penalty. You need to get out there and make a team pay. Sam Cogan is the one that's going to go to the penalty box. Olivia Knowles right there on the interference. Coach Ken Lee had said, a couple things, but one of which is to watch out for that Grace Zumwinkle one-time off the side.
Toronto wins the draw on the penalty kill. This is a Royale Tiger Towel power play. Minnesota's second chance. Now, their first one was cut short and went to 4-on-4. So here they are, 5-on-4. Grace Zumwinkle driving the net. That goes across. Michaela Cava feeds it back down, but there's fast. 14 in white. Sophie Jakes looking to tee something up. She's also looking for her first playoff point. Neither team has been able to score on the power play.
It's a good read from Emma Malte. She recognizes that puck is bouncing at the blue line, so she attacks it. She's able to turn it over and get it down the ice.
Jakes again, looking up ice. She's had success against Toronto in the regular season. Cava with the feed to Panic. Panic cuts in close. They shoot. It's kept out, not once but twice. Panic again gets it back. Minnesota on the power play. Steckline feeds it far. Looks to get back, but it's blocked by Sarah Nurse. She loses track of the puck. Gets it on her stick. And this penalty kill unit, it really is about the mentality.
Well, yeah, and that is that they're not afraid to go to work in the offensive zone, to attack, go on the attack if they're given the opportunity.
Minnesota setting up Michaela Cava. Check that, Coyne Schofield driving the action far side. Taylor Heisey really getting in close, still below the goal line now. Bouncy puck, benefits Toronto, but kept in. Steckline rims it around Abby Boreen. Pressed off the puck there. But not a fast out to Larocque. This gives Toronto space, but it's poked. And there's the clear. Alexa Vasco up high on the forecheck. Minnesota with a stretch pass. That gets interrupted, and now what a chase. Flanagan flies in.
Well, Fleming just snuck in behind Toronto's D.
And Hannah Miller trying to regain some control. And that would have been a shot by Allie Monroe, just not quite connected with the puck. Nurse looking to draw so much history at stake, chasing the championship, chasing their first goal. But a turnover, and that gives Kelly Panic some space. Feeds it back to Coyne Schofield, right across Cava. To get the shot off, a good block by Toronto. Toronto with the edge on block shots as well. Rock over to Fast. Again, a slight edge there, 7-5 in the game so far. Sophia Cunnin turning the corner, looking for some space. She's got room. Takes a shot, catches Campbell.
With some speed and skill when she comes down the wing. We saw that in the last game, and the ability to go one-on-one and make something happen. That time she's kept outside for that outside shot.
Board battle, and Howard feeds it back below the goal line of her own end. She's trying to work with the team. This is the first ever game Toronto's played without Natalie Spooner on the ice. And Brittany Howard. Oh, she's stripped of the puck. What a move, what a play.
Well, that's a good stick. If she's able to make that move, she's dancing right to the middle of the ice.
It's Minnesota going to regroup. Melissa Channel. Sarah Nurse actually frees the puck. Just down low with her. Liz Sheppers behind the back pass and then collects it back. She's been good at distributing. 2 assists already. The only game that Minnesota scored was Monday night. Jakes can't fire the puck away. Nurse with the feed to Malte. She's forced back to the outside to the point now. Renata Fast tries to let that one go, and it is stopped short now. Minnesota, Claire Budarak. She feeds to the center. Denisa Krizova getting all kinds of caught up. Sarah Nurse flips it out. We have another penalty on the way. A tripping call again.
Well, and you start to see things change a little bit with the scramble, and it's Minnesota, though, going to the penalty box once again when they are the ones generating a bit of momentum. This scramble all comes off of a turnover at the far blue line, but Minnesota's going to go to the penalty box for a trip.
Minnesota is 8 for 8 on the penalty kill. That includes their first of the night. Prior to this one, Toronto has been able to score on the advantage against Minnesota only in the regular season. They got 4 power play goals against Minnesota, but 2 of those are from Natalie Spooner.
Of course, there's a piece that you're missing on your power play in front of the net. She's so good, hand-eye coordination, big body in front. So Jess Jones, who has come up off of the reserve list to play, she's going to get some power play time, and for that exact reason, she's very good net front, good hand-eye.
Right now, Flanagan and Turnbull out on the ice, trying to get the puck below the goal line, and along with Malte. There's Jess Jones. She gets her stick on it. Feeds it back out to Turnbull. Up to Monroe. From the line, Flanagan looking for a lane. What a block. Good awareness, but Minnesota can't get a solid clear yet. Kept in on the blue line. Flanagan walks it up. Malte circles back. Looks for another lane this time. Down low to Turnbull. Patience from the Toronto power play. Jocelyn Larocque. Back out to Fast, and around they go. Shot in front, scramble. Another chance, that one just wide. Larocque forces it down, and Sarah Turnbull goes down off the boards, and Fast tries to keep it in, jumps up for that puck. Final 40 seconds of Toronto's second power play. Looking to break through. Renata Fast. Forced to the outside by Melissa Channel, who's been solid on defense for Minnesota all series. Along the near wall, Claire DeGeorge with a bit of a spill in purple. She's pressing it along the near wall. Out with it is Hannah Miller. The far side, Fast. Plays it back to Nurse. And Larocque collects herself. And Miller was reaching there. Pressed off is Larocque. Minnesota with another good penalty kill. Toronto unable to get a shot on goal.
Well, Toronto with a little bit better zone time. They moved the puck better. They did get the one opportunity. Jones, of course, missed the net, but those are the things that you start to build on.
Sent around. Rougeau feeds it through to Liz Scheppers. Now Liz Scheppers hounded by Willoughby.
Exactly why Willoughby is in the lineup, and on that third line right now is her ability to forecheck and backcheck. We've noticed her a few times in that speed. She gets in, and she's a pest.
And she was a 13th forward for most of the regular season and moved up on the line for the playoffs. And 2 consecutive spills. The puck is pressed down low, and Natalie Bookbinder regroups. Steck line, back out, shot, turned aside. Taylor Heisey letting that one go. Well, Minnesota looking to set up shop, even strength. I mean, all 8 goals in the series leading into this game have been scored even strength.
Well, that was one of those situations for Toronto. When you don't move the puck quickly enough out of your D zone, you allow Minnesota's pressure to come back down on you, and they get that zone time and those chances.
Heisey with the feed out, and it's taken away by Brittany Howard instead. Howard tries to dump it down, and it's turned over. This gives Minnesota some space. Olivia Knowles takes it away, though. Turnbull with the stretch pass was looking for Howard. Had that connected, would have created some space. Loose stick still in the Toronto zone. Just giving Jessie Comfer some room to move. That one blocked by Greco. Bit of a stalemate along the wall. Minnesota defending well. Panic hoping to take it away, but Samantha Kogan, number 17, digs it out. Loses it off Flaherty this time. What a feed out to Jessie Comfer. Along the line is Monroe. Far out, Flanagan. It's loose and it's covered up by Maddie Rooney. And still on the hunt for the first goal. Just over 2 minutes left in the second period, game 4. Kogan from Ottawa, Ontario. Still looking for an opening goal. We're within the final 2 minutes of the second period. A lot on the line for these two teams. Minnesota looking to force a game 5. That would go Friday night. The board battle is just pressed against. No whistles yet. Hannah Miller for Toronto trying to get her stick in it. It works. Takes it away, feet in front. That one cut short by Gwen Schofield. She read that all the way. Malte couldn't reach there.
I like that Hannah Miller went to the other side of that battle, try to sneak in the offensive side and see if he can get that loose puck, which she did. They won that battle.
Sarah Nurse looking to meet it below the goal line. Does get a stick on it. Sheppers with the steal. Malte gets it back. Now Nurse, Sarah Nurse looks out, finds LaRock.
Last minute of play.
The last minute of play here. Team looking to break through. Toronto. Nurse to Miller. Miller. One-timer by Turnbull. What a shot. That one just high. Now Toronto feeling some urgency. Kept in. Comfer. Taken away by Samantha Kogan. Out to Monroe. Monroe looking for the lane. She'll opt to go behind the net. There's a shot. It's stopped by Rooney.
A couple great shifts back to back for this Toronto team. Good offensive zone time, some really good patience with the puck, but really some great battles down low below the goal line. Winning the battles, winning the puck, waiting patiently, finding someone open. And there's Blair Turnbull at the top of the circles, just waiting in the weeds, getting herself into that open area, sneaking into cover, out of coverage, gets an opportunity.
Shots on goal, tied at 9. Having Rooney dialed in. Grace Zumwinkle doing the work below the goal line. Finds Abby Boreen, far side. Flanagan sent around, and time will wind down. Not quite. One more whistle with 1.8 seconds left here in the second period. Canadian Tire is a proud founding partner of the PWHL. Canadian Tire, Canada's store, here to make life in Canada better.
1.8 seconds left on the clock. Do you get gutsy and pull your goalie in the second period? I don't know. I don't really think there's much time to get the puck all the way down the ice. I'd be tempted to give it a try.
Panic and Turnbull. Turnbull completely battled for that puck for Toronto. Just not enough time to do anything with it. And so another scoreless period.
Welcome back to the XL Energy Center, Toronto, Minnesota. Still scoreless after 40 minutes of play. And Jocelyn, your coach said you might have been a little nervous, your team, after the first 20 minutes. How do you think they responded in the second?
Yeah, I think we responded well. We were playing physical, hard to play against, and yeah, it's great. I think it's a lot to build off of, and I think it'll be a great third.
With the way these two goalies have been playing, does it feel like one mistake could cost you the hockey game?
I mean, yes, but you try not to think of it that way. I mean, both goalies have shown that they're, elite level goalies, so it's going to take a lot to get past Rooney, but I know we can do it.
We knew special teams would be big, but is it surprising that both teams have just not been able to score on the power play?
Yeah, I mean, both penalty kills are doing great. And I mean, our PK has been something that's given us momentum all year. So it's something that, we take pride in and we work really hard, and hopefully we can get one on the power play.
Thanks so much. Good luck in the third.
Thank you.
That was great body position by Renata Fast below the goal line.
Nurse feeds it out to Malte. Swept up by Channel. Front to Abby Boreen. And Becky, you've been in big games yourself, and a series like this and everything that's on the line, what do these players need to do?
Well, again, we talked about it at intermission. If you're clutching your stick a little bit, it's trying to find a way to play free, not be afraid to make mistakes, and see if you can generate some offense.
And it's just out of reach there for Jessie Comfort. Turnbull tries to get her stick on it. You have to wonder too, Becky, if it's the fact that all 3 games so far have been shut out wins. So once you do allow a goal, how do you rebound?
Well, and that's exactly it. And that is definitely factoring into how these players are playing right now, which is they know that offense has been hard to come by. And so you know if you give up one, that could be the game.
You can't state enough how big a loss Natalie Spooner is to Toronto. Not just for her incredible scoring ability and defensive play too, but the fact that she's played in every game. She's a consistent presence on the ice for this team. Now battling in their own end, Toronto. Looking for the clear Budarak, giving chase in purple. Off the body. Nearly collected, but Lauriane Rougeau will settle it. The crowd as well, really a little quiet tonight, but that's something that Minnesota would love to get back on their side. It really propelled them in game 3. Emma Greco, there's the crowd, almost right on cue. Emma Greco takes it along the near wall. Looking for Cunnin, but solid work, and there in the slot, a shot.
Well, Minnesota getting on Toronto right now. Toronto a little slow to get to pucks, slow to move the puck when they do get there. Moving your feet to those loose pucks, recovering them first, and then moving it up ice hard.
Still delivering some hits as well. Renata Fast. Trying to play it out to Rebecca Leslie, crossing the blue line. Minnesota with some time to regroup. Loose puck goes sliding back into the Toronto end. And reminder as well that only about 4 players between both teams have actually played in hockey series, and that's not necessarily 5 games either. So this is very new territory for everyone, and these 2 teams, the first ever in the PWHL to go to a game 4, possibly a game 5. But here comes Taylor Heisey, and she feeds to the center. Grace Zumwinkle can't quite get a hard shot off, but Maureen steers it back into the Toronto zone. Allie Monroe.
Well, and that's some of the speed I was talking about with Minnesota. You see Heisey come through the neutral zone like that. When she stops up, then she's able to free up some ice, some time and space for herself because she's pushed back the defenders with her speed through the neutral zone.
Steckline just looking to settle things down. She had 1 assist against Toronto in the regular season, has an assist here in the playoffs as well.
When you look at a player like Lee Steckline, she bring a little bit of offense, but for her mainly it's the defensive side of the puck, the way she's able to break up plays using her stick, her size. She's tall.
Plenty of veteran experience as well. 29 years old from Roseville, Minnesota.
That's when you start to lean on your Olympians and your national team players, the experience they have in big games. When you talk about playing in a series for a first time, and some of that is the fatigue factor. Right? It's the back-to-back games that you're playing, the physicality and how it feels on your legs. And Taylor Heisey, we've seen her a couple of times, a couple of flashes of brilliance. She comes through the neutral zone with a head of steam, pushes the D back, and then that quick stop up. She's looking for Zumwinkle coming in, can't quite connect. Toronto does a good job in front, and Allie Monroe to take that away.
Yeah, Heisey had 4 points against Toronto. She finished the season with 13, but 4 points against Toronto. 2 goals, 2 assists, including a 3-point night back on January 10th. Was Minnesota's only win against Toronto until Monday night.
And showed those 2 goals, and just absolutely brilliant goals, and the ability that she has to go one-on-one and make something happen.
Knowles fires it deep. Toronto looking to set up, but didn't quite reach it. Minnesota now with a chance to get moving. Shepard's pass. Turned back. Comfort in the near corner. Pressed out the puck by Steckline. Check that, Steckline digging for it. Gets the puck out and around to Channel.
Comfort going in on that change in the battle situation. She chased that puck down, negated any icing that may have happened, and then gets off the ice.
Another start to a period here where not only is it scoreless, but few whistles. The time is winding down.
We're looking at few whistles again and few shots.
Here's a chance for Minnesota. They can't stay on their feet. Brittany Howard flips it out. Kept in, sent back. Minnesota will have another go. Down low is Fleming, Cunnin on the far side too. Jocelyn Larocque looking to move it up ice, takes a spill through to Nurse, and it's picked up by Zumwinkle. And this has certainly been the story of the game. Plenty of turnovers. Now Minnesota on the move, working it up to Abby Boreen, far side. Not a fast. Tries to lay a hit, goes down. Now a bit of a pile up in the corner. Larocque with doing the work out to Hannah Miller this time. She's trying to get by Zumwinkle. Helped out by Nurse, up to Malte. Passes, Nurse takes a shot, it's just wide.
Little hesitation, looked like that may have been offside at the blue line.
Comfort to Malte, off the bodies, kept in the neutral zone. Just both teams trying to set up their style of play. It's just a back and forth here.
Well, and there's the play right there where you got to get that puck off the wall into the middle of the ice. Otherwise, you're just giving it back to Minnesota.
They'll work it. Cava plays it back. Both teams, of course, spending plenty of time on the outside. And Blair Turnbull, she knows how to dial it up. She puts on the speed, takes a shot. We'll have our first penalty of the third period.
Well, what a difference it would make if one of these teams could get their power play going.
Lee Steckline, she takes the shot. It's just high. Minnesota would love to get on the board and to do it with plenty of time to keep adding as well. And here's a chance. Renata Fast. Toronto has had shorthanded opportunities. She's going to carry it. Drives past Coyne Schofield. Keeps it along the near wall, but here comes Kendall Coyne Schofield. Feeds it up. Working alongside Abby Boreen. She protects the puck, keeps it away. Rims it around. Rougeau does get a stick on it. Shepard's in control, feeds it down low to Boreen. Pressed up against the boards. Toronto using the body to get the puck out, but Taylor Heisey back to the point, Steckline feeds it to Heisey. Heisey back on the goal line, right in front, and it's saved by Campbell. What a stop, what an important save.
Well, there is some great execution on their power play, and that's Abby Boreen. We've seen it time and time again that they are looking to feed her down low. She's just off the side of the net as a right-handed shooter. Most of the time we've seen her walk out and try to stuff that puck in. This time she's hitting that player in the slot, and that is just a beautiful opportunity.
We'll regroup stick side. Campbell, Minnesota coming away with it. They have the edge on faceoffs. Back up, high slot. One-timer, Zumwinkle off the body of Vasco. Helped out by Monroe for Toronto. Flanagan working with Willoughby now. Gets it out of the zone. Short-handed. Alexa Vasco gets to the puck. She feeds it right in front. Willoughby, what a save by Rooney. My goodness, Caitlin Willoughby.
And there's those shorthanded chances again. Toronto has generated one in almost every game, if not more than one.
But Minnesota has not allowed a single shorthanded goal, or a jailbreak as it's known here in the PWHL, because it does free your teammate who's been penalized from the penalty box, while also benefiting your team on the scoreboard. Krizova out to Cava, up to Jakes with a shot. It's stopped by Campbell. Another chance. What a save yet again. This is a goaltending duel we're seeing.
Well, things have really opened up on this power play, and Minnesota creating a couple of excellent chances. Campbell has to be strong. A shorthanded chance at the other end. Maddie Rooney with an excellent save.
We heard Jocelyn Larocque say it in the intermission that their penalty kill can be a spark. Right now, Toronto not shorthanded because we're back to even strength. That's how quickly that power play went. 3 shots on goal there for Minnesota. Their best effort with the player advantage. Steckline across the blue line. And down right in front, another chance, Fleming. It was all teed up there for Abby Boreen. Check that, Claire DeGeorge was on the doorstep. It has been Minnesota's defense that has come through with goals and bouncing off the body there. Renata Fast kept in, check that. Miller, Hannah Miller doing all kinds of work, gets it back for Toronto on the attack. Looking for the feed, Kogan. A sprawling save by Maddie Rooney. Minnesota comes away with it. Pass up to Boreen, bothered by Flanagan, frees the puck. Taylor Heisey getting aggressive along with Boreen, battling for it. Toronto looking for a clear, can't get it. Boreen out to Heisey, just out of reach. Zumwinkle flies in. Rookie trio, former Minnesota Gophers, going to get on the scoreboard. Jessie Comfort doing the work. That's stripped, tipped. Chance here for Renata Fast. She comes through, goes across ice. Kept in with a touch by Leslie. Not enough. Minnesota driving. It's turned back, turned again. So many turnovers. Back in the Minnesota zone. Toronto can't jump to the puck fast enough. Back into the neutral zone. We're past the midway point of the third period. Still looking for an opening goal. Victoria Bach feeds it around. In the Minnesota end. Becky was just saying it feels a lot more open here in the third period. These teams know they want to close it out. They've yet to go to extra time in this series. For Toronto, a win punches their tickets to the final. Closes out this battle with Minnesota.
For Toronto, it'd be about getting some rest. You want to close it out as quickly as you can, not allow Boston to sit resting, waiting for you. Of course, Minnesota doing everything they can to push this to Game 5.
Game 5 would be 2 nights from now, Friday. Not much rest time there either. Vasco with a stick on it. Turned away again, and Minnesota just excellent tonight with the takeaways.
Lots of attention to detail coming back. Of course, nothing's going to be easy.
Howard's feed. Stopped short there by Cava. Now back along the near wall. And McGreco, her pass. A bit of a friendly collision there, causing some confusion for Minnesota. They're back in their own zone. Time just winding down here in the third period. Game 2 is the only game of the series that had two scoreless periods back to back, and that first goal, the game winner, was scored by Jessie Comfort with less than 90 seconds left in the third period. Steckline forces it deep.
Well, and that goal was just what you're looking for, which is you find that shot lane, you get pucks to the net, you get traffic to the net, and see if you can create something. And, you know, when you got goalies playing this well, you got to get in front of them, take away their eyes.
Minnesota's opened up when it comes to shots, now 15-11. Still low shooting affair here in St. Paul. Not fast. Down to Hannah Miller. She's bumped off the puck. It has been a very physical game, as is expected. Lots of hits. Natalie Bookbinder and Emma Malte rushing to it. Sophia Cunnin gets it out to Sophie Jakes. That's Britton Fleming, and right in front. Plenty of help there from Toronto. Another shot, that one just wide. And that's the other thing, Becky. We've had a lot of close shots coming so close to getting by.
Oh, once again, those are the dangerous ones that we just saw. You find that lane in the traffic, and it hits all sorts of things.
Now Sophie Jakes in the glove of Campbell. What an opportunity, what a chance for Minnesota. Still scoreless in the third, just over 6 minutes left. Certainly time for the home crowd to rally and cheer on their team. Toronto gets this win, they are through to the finals. Minnesota, they get the win. Well, they force Game 5. Sophie Jakes out to Channel. And bounces off of Fast. Back below the goal line. Larock gets it out. Pressure. Coyne Schofield on Malte. Kept in along the point. Toronto still trying to work out of their own end here. Miller. Center around Renata Fast, who has spent plenty of time out on the ice for her team, coming in, trying to close out the lane for Coyne Schofield. Jakes to Channel. Once again through traffic, cleared out by Fast, and then held in by Melissa Channel. Once again, it does give Toronto some space. Channel Toronto's going for a change, and Jocelyn Larocque will carry the puck through.
There's a solid shift by Sophie Jakes, and got the puck in a couple times to give her team the chance.
Samantha Kogan had a chance earlier, looking for another, but she's forced to the outside once again. Sophie Jakes going one-on-one up against the body of Kogan, and now just out of their end, moving through Budarak. Her pass is a little high and wide. Turnbull to Kogan once again. This is what Minnesota's looking to set up, create some space for them. What a hit by Blair Turnbull. The crowd is reacting still. Play on. Turnbull out to Brittany Howard, Heisey, and Bookbinder. Bookbinder kind of returning the favor there.
Those two of the biggest hits of the game, and they were both massive, and Blair Turnbull starting it off. What a hit.
Larocque up to Turnbull. Once we check that, Vasco. Minnesota create some space and energy on the rush. Grace Zumwinkle does get a touch on the puck. We're in the Toronto zone though, and there's a defensive win there. It's flipped back quickly by Minnesota. And Minnesota has brought more of the hits tonight. They lead 18-11 when it comes to the physical play. What matters most is getting on the board. Renata Fast. Vasco out to Maggie Connors. Time is winding down. Connors cutting through, sends it far side. Nurse, that pass intercepted. And Kendall Coyne Schofield on the move, fires it far side. The crowd now rallying behind their team. There's that Jessie Comfort third period goal happened in Toronto, so can Minnesota do the same on their home ice?
Well, in a game much like this where it didn't look like anything was going to happen, all it takes is a shot on net.
And here's a chance coming through. Heisey, what a save by Campbell off the pad. Another one thrown towards the net. Minnesota heating up. Zumwinkle driving the play. Kick save by Campbell. Puck back on the stick. Steckline sends it around. That was an effort there. Zumwinkle goes off for a change. Heisey still on the ice. Across to Sophia Cunnin. Back up to Abby Boreen. Down to Heisey. Heisey right in front. She gets a bit of pad, and then it's taken away there by Allie Monroe.
Minnesota really pressing for this goal right now in the dying minutes of this game. And Taylor Heisey, who's been kept off the score sheet, you wonder how. This is a beautiful opportunity. Grace Zumwinkle, head on a swivel, takes a look, finds Heisey in the slot. Heisey puts that one on net. Kristen Campbell has to come up big again. Those two players have connected a few times in this game, Zumwinkle and Heisey, and you gotta wonder how long they're going to last before they find the back of the net.
Rock rims it around, and Emma Malte able to pick up some speed here in the neutral zone. Carry it down, drop pass, gets touched there by Maggie Flaherty. Minnesota's been all over these passes, and Sarah Nurse can to feed it out. Emma Malte, first shot stopped. Renata Fast feeds it cross ice to Larocque. Fleming with a big reach, but it's flipped back. These two teams have not gone to overtime in the postseason. The one time they did in the regular season was right here at Xcel Energy Center, a much higher scoring game. It was tied at 3, and Sarah Nurse got the game winner for Toronto.
Of course, a little different situation. If this one were to go to overtime, you're looking at 5-on-5, a 20-minute period.
Yeah, compared to the 3-on-3 10 into a shootout scenario of the regular season. And that's why in the other series it went all the way to triple overtime in their game 2. Now far side, centering feed, Steckline shoots, and saved by Campbell. We're approaching the final minute, still scoreless. If someone's able to score in regulation, it will be the latest goal in PWHL history.
Last minute of play.
Latest first goal, I should say.
Of course, game 2 was the latest at that point in time, and 1 minute and 25 seconds left in the game. And Toronto right now just doing everything they can to defend. Minnesota sending some heavy waves of pressure and offense at them. Kristen Campbell has been excellent.
To clarify, that would be the longest goalless stretch, because yes, Boston would say, hey, you know we scored with just 3 seconds left, right? Against Minnesota in a game that Minnesota needed to clinch to get to the playoffs. But back here in this series, Michaela Cava tries to get the one-timer off from the draw. Channel out, far side, stopped by Campbell, another freeze. Jakes is looking for Panic down low. Sarah Nurse gets in the way. Nurse gets it back, feeds it out to Malte. Out this time to Allie Monroe. Looking to get around. Time is winding down, approaching final 30 seconds here. Toronto on the attack. Chance to punch their ticket to the finals. Miller throws it off the far wall. Monroe back down. That one skirts by Nurse, gets to Malte. We're in the final 20 seconds here. Kelly Panic chips it out. Channel again. That time bumped out. We're in the final 10 seconds. The crowd knows what's at stake here. We're still scoreless, folks.
Well, I think the crowd also wanted a penalty on Emma Malte on a hit on Channel.
We are headed to overtime, game 4.
Welcome back to the XL Energy Center. For the first time in this series, we are headed to overtime and a much more wide open third period than we saw in the first 2 periods. What changes, if any, do you see in overtime?
You know, I think you're going to see just a lot of pucks being thrown on net. We know any shot can go in. We'd like to get back to our game a bit more, make sure we're making smart, strong plays, and taking the chances when we get them.
You're no stranger to big games, and you're no stranger to overtime. Your Isabel Cup-winning overtime goal must be in your head right now. What advice do you give to some of the younger players who maybe don't have this kind of experience?
Yeah, obviously it's really exciting, a bit nerve-wracking, but you just have to keep playing the game. Everyone in this room is there for a reason, and we've worked all season to get here in this moment, and so we just have to stick to what we know how to do.
Thanks so much. Good luck in overtime.
Thank you.
0-0 heading into overtime. Toronto and Minnesota, don't go anywhere. We're coming to you live from the XL Energy Center.
Here we go. Minnesota wins the opening draw. 5-on-5 overtime, 20 minutes. This is the first time both of these teams have played this style this season. Jocelyn Larocque will come through. Stolen away, Abby Boreen. She has an OT game winner to her name through the regular season.
Of course, that overtime is so different. You almost have to take those statistics and park them, because 5-on-5 overtime is just such a different beast.
Absolutely, so different from 3-on-3, which is what is played up until a shootout in the regular season. But this is playoff hockey. A lot on the line. Kelly Panic. Minnesota in the offensive zone. Held in, Steck line through traffic. And that gives Sarah Nurse some space, but she feeds it out, and it's back to Minnesota. Bookbinder now, carrying it, takes the shot, or at least sends it down low. Going to connect with Michaela Cava on the other side, but Emma Malte has some room. Looks back. Feeds it out, one-timer, that one blocked, and it's Jessie Comfer out there. Of course, she got the game winner in game 2. That was in regulation.
That one started to feel a little bit like overtime, though, didn't it, when you get down into the last minute of the third in a scoreless game?
Minnesota's head coach Ken Clee saying he sure thought it was headed that way. It went Toronto's way. Now digging out, Samantha Kogan feeds it out. It's a big bounce. Once again, off the stick of Comfer. This gives Minnesota room to move. Claire Buderak. She's forced into the near wall. By the way, all the hits in this game have all come along the perimeter. Now out right in front. It's a bounce, and it's just wide. That one almost looked like it could have snuck by Campbell. Jessie Comfer far side. Rims it around. Toronto with a change. 5-on-5 overtime. Marianne Rougeau with a hit along the wall. Feed out in front, Liz Sheppers, and Maggie Connors takes control. Puts on some speed, goes far side. She draws a shot, or rather takes it into the glove of Maddie Rooney.
Minnesota gets the first big opportunity of this overtime, and they've really gotten the puck into the zone and created some problems for Toronto early on. Liz Sheppers with the first good chance of the overtime. Of course, it was their line that did all of the damage early on in the last game. Third line, first two lines still looking to get on the board.
Heisey at the face-off circle as Minnesota looking to work out of their own win. Next goal wins, and it'll be the only goal of the game. Zumwinkle trying to carry it over the lines. Gets back to Sophie Jakes. Jakes to the outside, Taylor Heisey. With patience, she comes in, looking for a wraparound, sharp angle shot, saved by Campbell. There's the whistle.
Taylor Heisey opting to just turn and fire this puck. Of course, never a bad decision, especially since you know you've got some traffic out front. And I love the fact that she's patient, comes around, looks like maybe she's gonna wrap it, holds it, turns, fires. Kristen Campbell makes a save and smothers that puck.
Minnesota doubled up shots on goal, still looking to break through. Taylor Heisey, they are in overtime. Steckline takes the shot, or forces it back down. Zumwinkle tries to get it out to Heisey. Toronto regroups. Monroe, short pass. Gets it up to Callie Flanagan, but it's offside.
Emma Malte just has to lift that leg to get out of Flanagan's way.
Callie Monroe sends it around. Kept back in by Jakes. Michaela Cava looking to shake off Flanagan. Toronto doing what it can. Another chance, far side. Bit of a scramble in front. Coyne Schofield with pressure comes through. Gets the puck back. What a battle. Up to Jakes. Jakes now takes a shot. That one into the netting.
Some really great puck protection by Coyne Schofield coming out of the corner. And for a small player, she is awfully strong. Gets that top hand out, protects the puck to give her team an opportunity to get that shot on net. And the corners and the wall become so important. You win those battles along the wall, you win the corners and the boards, and often you're going to win the game.
Sophia Cunnin taking this offensive zone draw here in overtime for Minnesota. And Toronto does come away with it, but rushing to it is Claire DeGeorge and Britton Fleming. Uses the far wall to keep it back in the zone. Loose puck, and it will be an icing call. Liz Shepherds, of course, having 2 assists last game. Toronto gets it back. Leroy feeds it up. What a hit on Brittany Howard. Maggie Flaherty just stopping all the momentum there. Chases on back in the Toronto zone. Fast. Gets there first. We looked at the time on ice leaders, and you'll always see number 14 for Toronto up high there. Caitlin Willoughby chasing it down. And around they go.
Allie Monroe with a good job skating to that puck. And as a defender, sometimes you learn exactly what stride you need to just not quite get to that puck in time. Let it go down the ice, and certainly looked like Monroe was doing that there. Take the wrong angle, let that puck go down the ice. But how about this hit? And Howard, who's just stepped up, trying to catch that, corral it down. And she gets hit hard by Flaherty.
It's a big opportunity. Sarah Nurse has been leading her team at the circle. She does get the win there. Toronto looking for a goal to get to the finals. Emma Malte along the wall. Monroe from the point through the bodies. It's loose and unable to reach it is Sarah Nurse. She's just trying to get her stick on it. It'll bounce back in Toronto's end.
Just giving it a couple of waves just to see if she can get a stick on it.
Along the wall to Malte. This gives Budarak some space to move. Jakes and Budarak for Minnesota. Bring the energy the other side of the ice. Monroe rims it around. Now Emma Malte. Her pass intercepted. Michaela Cava and Renata Fast get to the puck. Hit along the wall. Now Minnesota with a chance setting up here. Bookbinder to Steckline. Back to Bookbinder. Looking for a lane. Gets the stick on the puck. Down low. Coyne Schofield trying to reach. Kelly Panic with the loose puck. Lost in the battle. Renata Fast plays it up. This gives Michaela Cava some time. Back to the line. Steckline to Bookbinder. These two fan on it. That gives Toronto some space. A chance to jump on this one. Just out of reach for Sarah Nurse. Another hard hit, and the hits have certainly been piling up in this game. Still looking for her first goal, and we're in overtime. Natalie Bookbinder. She's pressed along the boards by Samantha Kogan.
Bookbinder looked like she may be hurt on that hit. She got back up and got back into the play, but that one really rattled her.
Allie Monroe, Toronto on the attack. Samantha Kogan collects it far side. Sophia Cunnin looking for a stick on it. Claire DeGeorge gets a handle, flips it down.
Well, this is a change I think they needed. Bookbinder once again. She took that hard hit, and she's going to be stuck on the ice right now, and you can see her bent over her stick. This is a big hit. She goes in awkwardly. Sarah Nurse takes her in. It's just the way that she goes in. She's a little bit of discomfort. Of course, they ice the puck, and she's going to be stuck on.
Bookbinder has 2 points against Toronto. Howard with a shot. 2 points against Toronto in the regular season. Still waiting for her first playoff point. If Minnesota does not get the next goal, well, their season is done. Chasing it is Sophia Cunnin. Does send it deep in Toronto's end.
Both teams stretching the zone out a bit, getting that puck up ice quickly. You don't want to dally in your own zone.
The rock up to Brittany Howard. Shot turned aside by Maddie Rooney. Her 13th save of the night. Sarah Nurse comes in, takes a shot. That's hard off the bodies in front. Nurse gets it back this time. Caitlin Willoughby far side with a quick bat, and wow, that puck got close. Just goes across the crease. Flaherty. Now Brittany Howard looking to dig in. Who will be the overtime hero? Maggie Flaherty had the game winner on Monday. Hannah Miller, she cuts through. Bouncy puck goes Minnesota's way as they clear it out.
Toronto looks like they're pressing right now. Again, Minnesota doing a good job keeping everything to the outside, blocking shots, a couple huge blocks.
Sarah Nurse, she's setting up. Takes the attention far side, forces it below the goal line. Lost stick for Sarah Nurse, and Claire Buderak now battling with Malte. It's Minnesota summer room. Here comes Sophie Jakes, feeds it far side. Jakes down low. She's pushed off the puck by Jocelyn Larock.
Renata Fast with a good stick to break up that play.
Once again, Brittany Howard, or check that, Blair Turnbull now. She's driving the action. It's taken away by Buderak and then reclaimed by Comfer, far side, fast, cross ice. That one off the stick of Melissa Channel, who goes back to collect it. We're nearing the midway point of this overtime period. Chasing it down, Kendall Coyne-Schofield squeezed out in the zone. This gives room. Maggie Connors pulls up. What a shot. It's saved by Maddie Rooney.
And Larock with another huge step up in the neutral zone to create that turnover.
Willoughby feeds it up to Alexa Vasco. She takes the shot. It's wide. Brittany Howard to collect quick touch. Back to Vasco. Sharp angle. Minnesota good once more. Still leading shots on goal. 25 to 15.
Well, Toronto's starting to press, and we've talked about the various little things that you can do in a game to generate offense. And Jocelyn Larock has done this a number of times. Very good through the neutral zone. She steps up, takes away this play, allows her team to turn transition right away, come back down, and get this shot on goal. Maddie Rooney with a good shoulder save.
That time, Sarah Nurse does not win the face-off clean. She's been so good through the game, but also through this overtime period. Toronto still regains possession. Hannah Miller looks for Malte. Just all kinds of action along the far wall, trying to get a stick on it. Chasing it down, Galli Flanagan gets there first before Michaela Cava, but here comes Kelly Panic. She drives around, looking for room. Back up to Bookbinder. Can't hold it in, and Malte was looking to jump on that opportunity. And that's where we are now. Minnesota looking to extend this series to a game 5. Would be the first team to do it. Melissa Channel handling the puck. she's one who's known to do the simple things right. Has certainly helped her team, not only in the playoffs, but through the regular season. A big collision, and Toronto tries to fire a shot off. That would have been Brittany Howard. Sent back by Jocelyn Larocque. Crowd trying to stay lively. Maddie Rooney caught out of position. Toronto is ready to pounce on that. Quick regroup by Minnesota.
And Toronto just throwing everything back down, trying to establish their forecheck. And you know, once again, you got Natalie Spooner out of the lineup, so it becomes that gritty goal, that hard worker's goal.
Grace Zumwinkle. Gives her team some space. They go out for the change. Monroe up to Malte. The time on ice, of course, just steadily increasing for all of these players that we're seeing out here.
This is a huge icing right now for Toronto. Maddie Rooney comes out to play the puck and just mishandles this one. It gets caught in her feet. Looks like maybe Malte is going to be able to create something out of it.
Maddie Rooney, so disciplined, is perfect in game 3 for Minnesota now. On the attack, a shot through traffic, blocked by Nurse. Back from Claire G. George, hits what could have been the post, maybe got a piece of Campbell. But still, Minnesota now. Flaherty lets it loose. Turned aside by Campbell, able to track that one. Now Connors, far side. Battling for Britton Fleming gets it out to the line. Flaherty, not quite. Another one. Bodies in front. Nurse with a stick on it. Out to Callie Flanagan.
Flanagan, who had done a good job to stay with her player coming out of the corner for that point shot, make sure that she took away the stick, got in the lane.
An absolute battle, these two teams. Held each other scoreless, but Denisa Krizova, she's just got to get around. Caught up on Allie Monroe, it's good enough to disrupt that effort. She gets it back though. To the point, Bookbinder across, Steckline with the shot, it's high. Back out, Minnesota certainly getting some momentum here.
That gives Toronto an opportunity to get the line changed. And of course, Minnesota trying to throw that puck right up ice and catch them.
Now, a race to it. Brittany Howard, it's an icing call. Toronto still looking below their goal line. Vasco out to Willoughby. And Heisey gets it in the neutral zone.
And there's a situation where there's a little bit more time than she thinks, and Willoughby's rushing with that puck. It's a bit of the communication piece.
Willoughby, and now fast. She's pressed against the boards. Steckline. Quick touch to Bookbinder. Back out to Grace Zumwinkle. One of these players will be the overtime hero. Who will it be? Toronto looking to close this out in 4 games. Caitlin Willoughby with the feed. There's a shot. What a stop by Rooney. That was all Captain Blair Turnbull. This sets up Michaela Cava with a quick stick, though. Toronto says not right now. Brittany Howard the other way. It's stripped. Jessie Confer gets it back. Carries it far side. There's a channel. Feed off the end boards. Michaela Cava now. It's blocked. Fast to Larocque. Down for Jessie Confer. Does get caught up a bit on the official.
You could see Comfer waiting in the weeds at the far blue line, waiting, seeing if she could get in behind Minnesota's defenders. Just couldn't get that pass clean.
Cava flips it out. Minnesota goes for the change. Now Renata Fast. Less than 5 minutes left in this first overtime period. Maggie Flaherty down low, and Minnesota gets on the move once again. Skirts around Knowles. Rougeau down low. Pressure from Britton Fleming. Board battle, lots of movement.
Well, Toronto does not want this frozen puck. They outnumber the situation right now. They need to pop it out so they can break it out.
We're looking to do that. Samantha Hogan in the mix in white, and some hits delivered there by Sarah Nurse. So the physical battle wins that one for Toronto, but Hannah Miller still no space there. He does get it out. Neutral zone, Rougeau hoping to dump it.
Blair Turnbull, who had 2 goals in the opening game, gets Toronto's best chance so far of this overtime. And she's a player that hasn't put a lot behind the goaltender this year, but she's been dangerous so far in playoffs. That's a beauty dish by Willoughby, and she's looking to beat their goaltender upstairs in Maddie Rooney and turning right around Minnesota with that stretch pass. It's not tape to tape though. Toronto is able to catch up.
In the neutral zone and out, now sent sailing into the area behind Campbell's net. A lot of chasing down low, collision, Steckline and Malte.
Howard gets down on that forecheck quite quickly.
Still looking for a goal in this game to win it. Liz Shepard has clear Budarak down low, saved by Turnbull. Rebound stymied, now taken the other way. Comfer with a feed out to Turnbull. She comes across, not quite on the doorstep, loose, cleared out. Minnesota with speed, Zumwinkle. She's unable to keep a hold of it thanks to Renata Fast. Now Maggie Connors, she takes a shot, it's wide. Back to it, Miller with a quick stick, flipped up. Final 3 minutes here in the first overtime period. Sophie Jakes sends it far side, long shot in the glove. Toronto gets away with the defensive zone draw, but Cava with the stick. This creates some space for Kendall Coyne. Schofield Monroe with a good hit. Coming back down, Allie Monroe tries to go for the clear. This gives Michaela Cava some space. She was looking to feed it to Panic. Minnesota on the attack, but here comes Emma Malte for Toronto, far side. She steps up, rims it around. Sarah Nurse down low. And the puck just skims by. Renata Fast gets there. Sends it back for LaRock. Stretch pass goes a little too deep.
Well, playing such a different game.
Jessie Comfer tries to get a stick on it and get it past the post, up to the point. LaRock to Fast. Shot blocked in front. Grace Zumwinkle doing all the work. Now LaRock setting up again from the point. Down to Turnbull from the slot. Kogan in front. It's loose and it's cleared out. Comfort was just battling there with Greco. She was the one they were looking for. Final minute of the first overtime period. We are still looking for the first goal. It will be the game winner. Here comes Hannah Miller. She takes the shot, turned aside by Rooney. Toronto sort of catching fire here. Will they have enough time?
Rooney with another great save, and Toronto with just a beautiful scoring chance.
Jakes up to Budarak. Budarak now driving towards the net, but she's pushed into the boards, or steered into the boards rather, by Allie Monroe, who has certainly laid some timely hits for Toronto in this game. Batted off the boards, Malte. Time winding down, final 20 seconds in this first overtime period. Nurse and Malte buzzing around the net. Kruzova flips it out. Renata Fast. What a battle. Turnbull. And here's a chance. Emma Malte to Turnbull. Catches the skate back out. She was quick to it. There's a shot, but we are headed to double overtime.
80 minutes of hockey in the books, still looking for our first goal. Toronto and Minnesota in the back. Before overtime, your coach said he didn't want your team laying back. He wanted you to go for it. You think you did that in the first overtime?
Yeah, I mean, I think that our team is really pushing hard. We're getting pucks deep, and those chances are coming. So if we just keep going the way we've been going, I think that it'll be a good period for us.
playing in a series, a new experience for many people on your team, and long overtimes is a new experience as well. What advice can you give to maybe some of the younger players when you've got something like this, fatigue's coming into play, and it's just not something they're used to?
Yeah, I mean, we just stick to our game plan, stick to what we've done day in, day out. We've prepared ourselves for these moments, and it's the fun stuff, right? Trying to score the next goal. So, yeah, just stick to our game plan.
Personally, you were asked to have a bigger role with Natalie Spooner's injury. Evaluate your game so far.
Yeah, I mean, I think that obviously it's a huge loss for our team, but just doing what we can to replace her and, you know, find ways that we can impact the game like she does so well. So as a team, I think we're just getting pucks deep, getting big bodies to the net, and just shots on goal.
Thanks so much for your time. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Sarah Nurse wins that neutral zone draw. She's been an overtime hero twice this season for Toronto. A chance down low, and Heisey gets a stick on it, pushes it around. Over to Jakes. Minnesota's had more shots on goal in this game. Some good chances as well in the first overtime. Emma Malte. Toronto, of course, ending the first overtime with a good rally. Finer to Steckline.
Looking to do that here. You're starting to see two really quick line changes. Of course, you're getting into your second overtime period. The legs are starting to get tired, and so that makes it hard to generate anything as well, although you may catch a team.
Allie Monroe getting there before Michaela Cava. You have to think that these coaches have also seen how lines were managed in a triple overtime game between Boston and Montreal, in which Montreal's fourth line did not see many minutes at all.
Some of the time on ice at the end of that game was absolutely incredible, and Erin Ambrose had 60 minutes.
An absolute effort from Erin Ambrose. Of course, Boston taking that win. They swept that series, closed it out last night, and Minnesota pushes us to game 5. Boston just gets more rest. That one bounces. It actually just catches the outside of the net. Bit of a scary moment for Minnesota, but Toronto now. Miller, her pass intercepted, nearly taken away. Miller gets it back. Sarah Nurse, what a save by Rooney! My goodness!
Sarah Nurse finds herself open in that slot area, and she's so good at that, getting herself into a good position. Hannah Miller with the patience to take this puck off the wall to the middle of the ice. Most of the play, again, has been on the perimeter. Rooney can get out and make that save. Nurse, when you look at Brittany Howard on that play, too, she's coming back. If Rooney doesn't hold on to that puck, she is right there on the doorstep.
Nurse out to Malte. Now Renata Fast. She looks for the lane. Another chance. Nurse catches the back of the net. It's loose. Minnesota helping out Maddie Rooney, as they have throughout the game. Now Malte with a shot. It's turned aside by Rooney. Rooney holding on. She's extending a save streak that started, of course, a shutout win on Monday. Forced this game tonight. Channel stretch pass. Goes too deep, and it's an icing call.
When you look at Rooney, and you're looking at the goalie that did not get game 1. She came in because game 1 didn't go the way they wanted, and she's been excellent. Renata Fast gets that puck through, gets off the doorstep, and Sarah Nurse battling to see if she can create something. And what a pass out front. Malte gets that shot off, blocker saved by Rooney.
Minnesota has outshot Toronto in 2 of the games, now 3 now. Olivia Knowles through traffic off the bodies in front. Gives Minnesota some space. Quick moves, Fleming out to Sophia Cunnin. She tries to get a shot off. Stopped there by Lorianne Rougeau. Board battle Fleming. Out to Cunnin. On the stick of Blair Turnbull. Can't get around Steckline.
That's a nice hit by Steckline to throw the hip in there.
Here be George. Going to go twice on a pass to get by Maggie Connors. Monroe. She feeds it down the far wall.
Caitlin Willoughby again with a burst of speed, and she gets in there first.
And now a chance pulling the puck. That was Alexa Vasco. They're trying to draw back into the circle. Willoughby swarming. That gives Caitlin Willoughby some space. Brittany Howard now. Toronto on the move. We have been goalless Right now into double overtime. Brittany Howard looking back. Insistent pressure by Lee Steckline. Kelly Panic takes it away. Sarah Nurse feeds it to the near side.
Just trying to put everything on net.
This gives Sarah Nurse some space. Goes near side. Quick poke. Minnesota takes it away. Now Denisa Kruzova. She had an opportunistic goal in game 2. LaRock battling. Kruzova takes it again. Out to the point. Now a chance. Jakes. That one flies wide. Liz Shepard's right front. Minnesota scores! An incredible overtime rally from the home team to tie up this playoff series. And we are heading to game 5.
Well, this is just exactly what you knew was going to happen. You start throwing pucks on net. Anything that gets thrown on net becomes a problem. You knew Sophie Jakes at some point something was going to drop for her. She's been so good at the blue line, getting pucks through, so patient, head up. This one takes a little weird bounce, comes to the side of the goal. Again, it's that odd hop. You knew somebody at some point in time was going to get a bounce. Minnesota gets the bounce here tonight as that puck comes out through a little play. Shepard's between the legs to the front of the net. Burak puts that in.
What an effort. And of course, that is the Athletic Brewing Company play of the game. I mean, what else would it be? What a moment for Minnesota.